Here are the tests on my 1976 American Standard Cadet. I forgot to show the base in the last video compared to the other Cadets I have, but it is actually the same. I guess it's just been a while since I looked at one of these. So it is set to the water line in the tank there, and it is using a tilt valve. Now, for those of you who've never seen one of these before, I'll show you real quick how it works. So that is how this 1960s universal Rundle tilt valve works. It's really cool, and I had one of these installed in my bathroom for about 4 years. So anyway, I will show you guys a flush, and then let's see how it does on tests. The flush is very nice on this toilet. I remember the flush on my 1970 Cadet with bedpan lugs being considerably slower than usual, so it will be interesting to see how this one does in comparison. Also, this little light spot right here is because I dripped some acid on the wood, and it like completely restored that little part to new. So that's really cool. I didn't know acid could do that. For the first test, let's see if it can take a washcloth. This toilet does not have a glazed trapway, but it should pass this perfectly. As expected, perfect pass. Now, let's see if it can take a grocery bag. I think it will pass perfectly. As expected, perfect pass. For the next test, let's see if it can take the washcloth and grocery bag together. These are awesome toilets, and it has 5 gallons of water behind it, so I think it will pass. It didn't do perfectly, but it passed. It did pretty well on that. Let's try the washcloth and the grocery bag again, just to see if I can make it pass perfectly this time. I'm not really sure if it will do any differently, but there's always a chance. It actually did worse that time, but it still took it, so that's good. Now, let's see if it can take a dish towel. I'm not so confident that it will pass this one, but it's worth a shot. It balled it all up in the opening. That's what caused it to fail that time. Let's try the dish towel again, but this time I'm going to angle it. This way it can pull that side first and it doesn't take it all at once. It did perfectly. So overall, I would say this toilet has pretty good performance. It took the washcloth perfectly, the grocery bag perfectly. It took them together, although not perfectly. Then it clogged hard on the dish towel, but it took it in the second flush perfectly, although it was angled. So now let's move on to the flush tests. For the first flush test, let's see how it flushes with a dry bowl. I'm going to see if I can dry the bowl out with my little trick here, spraying water into it. That couldn't have gone better. That flush was very slow and weak, but it still siphoned, so that's a good thing. For the next test, let's see how it flushes with a clogged siphon jet. I'm expecting it will siphon since elongated toilets tend to do better on this. That flush was awesome, and still pretty powerful too. Now let's try a dirt test. This toilet has such a high water spot that it doesn't even need to rinse a whole lot of the sides because they're under the water. So I think that it will do very well in both rinse and clearance. Let's check it out. Isn't that beautiful? That did really well. Not perfect because there's a tiny little spot, but perfect is hard to achieve. And this is more than reasonable. This did extremely well, and I don't know of many other toilets that can accomplish a dirt test like that. That is honestly really impressive, and one of the many reasons that these toilets are amazing. So anyway, that is all for these tests. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps my channel a lot and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video.